Okay, why don't we begin? This is Matt Vanzini. Some of you were here at the other master class that Matt conducted. This is his second visit here, but Matt was a graduate of CCM and went on to Westminster, and then where did you get your master's? Northwestern, and he's a wonderful conductor and a wonderful choral director. He also, I think his favorite pastime is composition, though, really, isn't it?
Directing choirs are coming. They're neck and neck.
Oh, excuse me, choir. But he's very accomplished, and he's going to share some more conducting techniques. And he's asked for 6 volunteers. These nervous Nellies over here going to volunteer. So, Matt, thank you so much. And why don't you tell me where you're from?
Where I'm from?
Mount Olive, the high school.
Oh, yeah, we're from Mount Olive High School, so not too far away. How many people were here at the last master class? Okay, good. We have some new people too. Yeah, I know it's mine. Yeah. But last time I was here, I was talking a little bit about the role of the conductor. We focused a lot about the educational conductor, what I do up here, and if you all go into teaching, what you'll be doing. So we talked about the role of that, about repertoire selection, interpretation of the literature, and making musical decisions. Today is going to be more about what the volunteers can do, and the people that aren't up here at the podium, taking away some basic skills of conducting. I'm going to be giving you an Irish folk tune in a little bit, and we're all going to learn it, and we're going to kind of break apart the folk tune, kind of analyze it from a conductor's standpoint. What do we need to do with this piece? What does the choir need from the person up here to make it musical, to make it sound like the way that you want it to? So we'll be getting to that in a little bit. The people that were here last time, we talked about some different conducting techniques, or different types of conductors. Anybody remember? Yes?
Was it the professional and institutional conducting?
Professional and institutional conductor, yep, those are kind of overarching, but as far as conducting styles.
Oh, okay.
I demonstrated a couple of them. Okay, let me demonstrate. Let's just do a quick stand up. We'll do the Star Single Banner. We had this type of conductor.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming?
Which basically, what was I doing? Keeping time. Keeping time. A piece like National Anthem just needs kind of beating time, right? So that's definitely a necessity in lots of types of music. And we also have a different kind. We're going to begin Good Night, Dear Heart. They weren't expecting to do this. So look at the worried looks on their faces. All right, here we go. Warm sometime? Do you get the notes?
Warm summer sunshine kindly, warm southern wind blows softly.
Yeah, they're scared to death because they weren't prepared to do that. What kind of conducting was I doing there? Yes?
That was like for dynamic.
For dynamics, yes. What else was I only conducting? Expressive, kind of shaping the sound. It's also basically just conducting the text. If there wasn't any movement within the ensemble, I wasn't really moving. I may have been showing movement through gesture, but I wasn't beating time. I wasn't going warm summer sun, just warm summer sun. Just so beating, not beating time, but beating the expressiveness and beating and doing the text, right? So we had those two main kinds, and we kind of did a hybrid of them when we had people come up here and do the Star Spangled Banner, doing beating time, and then changing a bunch of things. What does the conducting gesture do? Just still as a review. What is the job? What are my arms doing? What am I telling the choir? Well, beating time, right? Tempo. What else? Dynamics, element of music, right? Dynamics. What other elements of music am I, as the conductor, showing? Articulations, when to breathe, line, how long to hold that phrase, where the phrase goes, really showing text, what words to lean into. Especially with choral music, we have the luxury of having text, so we can really bring the expressiveness of the meaning of the text out. So good. And we also talked about different type of ictus conducting. What do we remember from that? What is the ictus?
Oh, whether you're beating with like your hand or your elbow. Or
Right. We had 4 different styles of ictus conducting. And ictus is our imaginary plane where the beat is pulled off of, where the energy comes off of. We talked about fingertip ictus, where everything is focused in on the fingertips. The wrist, where the focus is your wrist. Elbow, big, heavy, and then full arm, wild conducting, which we don't use too often. Good. And we did some beat patterns as well, right? Which ones did we do? 4 and 3. Can we stand up? Let me see if you remember how to do 4 pattern. Give yourself a little bit of room. I'll demonstrate once. If you didn't do it, that's fine. Remember, it's down, left, right, and up, down, left, right, up, down, down, left, right, up. I'm doing it backwards. I'm doing it with you. I got to think about it. Right? 3 and good. And then we do the 3 pattern, which is just down, right, up, down, right, up, down, right, up. Now today we're going to be using the 4 pattern. So let's just do that 4 pattern again, and I'll give you the piece of music that we're going to learn. You guys can do it too. Ready? And down, left, right, up, down. And when you're doing that, hold on one second, that invisible line, the ictus, you want the beat, whether you're doing, you should probably be doing either fingertips, wrist, maybe not elbow with how close you are with people, but make sure it's pulling off of that same line. Take your arm, put it chest high, and you could do ictus wherever, what the music calls for, but just pretend like you're bouncing off where that plane is. 2, 3, take your arm away, and see if you can keep that same plane right where it is, and see if that still fits. That's real important conducting, you can stop, is keeping that ictus. So your ensemble knows exactly where that beat is going to go. If I'm beating an ictus, my ictus all over the place, nobody's going to be able to follow, right? Because in the ictus, also my arm speed stays the same between the beats. If I'm keeping a steady rhythm, and I keep the ictus the same, my arm speed is the same between all the beats, right? If I move the ictus, my arm speed changes. My tempo is the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not going to stay together, right? Because my arm's going different speeds. Okay, good. Have a seat. We're all going to learn an Irish folk tune.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Everybody got one? Thank you. Yep, I got some. Here. So I'm going to play through it. We're all going to sing, led by madrigals here, and then we're going to talk about what is all involved in this simple folk tune from a conducting standpoint. We're going to sing through it, and you're going to listen to it and go, oh, that's a beautiful little melody. But there's a lot going on in that melody. So let's actually, madrigal, stand up, sing it for him once. One, two, and.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Any people heard that tune before? Kind of a famous tune. Good, you guys can have it. Actually, you know what? Sing it a cappella for him. I'm going to put him through the ringer here today. I gave it to him this morning to memorize, so I'm testing him. Here you go. Two, and.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Good. All right, have a seat. So lots going on from a conducting perspective here. Let's try to identify some of the problem areas or areas that we'd have to pay attention to, something we need to focus in on. Any ideas right from the very beginning? There's a challenge? Start on beat 4, right? So we have to figure out how we're going to start the choir. Do we beat 1, 2, 3? Or how do we actually bring them in? We're going to talk about that. So yes, so starting on a pickup can present some challenges. What else? Just looking through, yes.
Tempo.
Tempo? What about tempo?
How fast do you want to take it, depending on like the phrase where the breaths are.
Right, well, another element right there. Tempo, you want to see how fast you want to do it. You may not like that speed. You may want to do it faster. You may want to do it slower. So tempo considerations based on the style of the music and the text. Obviously, yes, certainly. Yes?
The crescendos and decrescendos.
Crescendos and decrescendos. So that presents a challenge to the conductor because you have to show them. And how are we going to show crescendos and decrescendos? Right? And in an appropriate way that's stylistic to this particular piece. You also brought up breath marks. How are we going to deal with a breath mark? Right? We have to make sure where's that cutoff going to be? How am I going to prep that next phrase? And these are all things that we're going to hopefully get to talk about. Yeah, something else?
Between a quarter note, sixth notes, and half notes, the rhythm is sort of varies.
We had to make sure as a conductor that the rhythm that's on the page, certainly we have to adhere to that. And if there's any rubato or tempo in there, that we keep everything together from a rhythmic perspective. Yes? Any other ideas? Yep.
I guess the dynamic, the mezzo forte and the forte.
Showing the difference between a mezzo forte, mezzo piano, and within the different phrasing, crescendo, decrescendos, certainly those are all things that are gestural considerations. We have to think about what to do for all that. There's two other things. Yeah.
There's some kind of big intervals.
The interval of a fourth. So as a conductor, I want to make sure that those are all in tune, right? I want to make sure that those leaps certainly are in tune and that we're singing a perfect fourth. What about phrasing? I put breath marks in there purposely. You as conductors could make different decisions on how you wanted the musicality to happen, but I put breath marks in there. Where do you think one spot that the choir might want to breathe where there's not a breath mark?
After garden.
After garden? At the very beginning? Yes. So as a conductor, what am I going to have to do to help the choir not take a breath there?
You have to make the right cueing decision.
Yes, you have to do something with your gestures that shows motion and not stopping motion, because that means they're going to get lazy and take a breath. Okay, choirs are notoriously lazy as far as breathing. They don't want to do long phrases. They want to sing shortest phrases possible because it takes less energy. Right? Am I right? Yes. So we got to figure out what to do with our gestures to make sure that the phrase lasts as long as we want it to, and not just lasts without a breath, but has energy and vitality through those spots that may not be obvious to be, wouldn't be inherent in the music. And one other thing, very, very end. We have, yes?
Retardando.
We have a retardando in there, yes. So now the conductor has to make sure that whatever ensemble up here is all slowing down at the same time and being musical, right? So that's a lot. This could be a semester's worth of conducting lessons to be able to get all these things down and being proficient, so that you took another piece of music and you can look at it and just automatically know how to pick it up or whatever, or be able to do gestures. Conducting is really, it's really knowing your body and being able to have your brain control your body to make certain gestures that make sense to them so they can respond musically. And you have to practice. I mean, you really have to practice. I was fortunate enough to study with the director of choral activities at Juilliard for 5 years privately, and every gesture she would stop and say, "Why did you do that?" Everything from my pinky would move out. Why? I don't know. Well, that can't be an answer. Everything you do with your body has to have a reason. There has to be a reason why I'm doing a certain gesture. And if you can name a reason and they're responding to it musically, then it makes sense. But if I'm doing some big sweeping gesture or look how good I look, and it doesn't mean anything to the music, you got to think back, okay, pull that back. Why did I just do that gesture? Did it change the sound? Any gestures that I try to do, and we're not all perfect, but whatever I try to do with my gestures conducting, I'm trying to not manipulate the sound, but give them information to make the sound more musical, or as musical as I can get them to be. Does that make sense? Yes.
At your last master class, you used a phrase, and I just thought to repeat it. It takes courage because the conductor makes all the musical decisions, and that was so important, I think.
Conducting is a big responsibility. I mean, you're, especially my role, as a teacher, teaching them music, getting to understand music, hopefully having an aesthetic experience where they come out of the music and are fully invested in the piece that they're singing. But the conductor has to make all the musical decisions and be able to convey it. Because another good saying for conducting is, what they see is what you get. So if I'm doing something poorly and they're not sounding good, it could be because of my gestures. They will, not consciously or unconsciously, they will respond to poor conducting. I mean, they'll give you that sound. If I'm a lazy conductor and it's an energetic piece, there's no way that they're going to have energy behind it. That's absolutely not. So, big responsibility. Yes? questions before we move on and get to some of our subjects or volunteers? Victims. Good. We're going to sing this for you one more time, and I believe Carlo is going to be our first one up, right? He looks very excited. Doesn't look nervous at all. Looks very happy to be here. So I appreciate that, Carlo. So let's sing that one more time. Standing up, please. Here you go. Actually, I'm just going to start you because I don't want to give them ideas. 2, and.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with.
And stop! I got to stop it because case in point, right there. How many people took a breath after garden? Yep. I mean, how many? How many took a breath after each garden? Yeah, yeah. Why? Because they're lazy. I'm not up here telling them to do that, right? Now try that again. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stop. They're not lazy. They're great. 1, 2, and.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Good. Carlo, come on up. Give a hand, Carlo. Hand. Should really be. You want to be? Is this too close to be up here?
No,
With
it's
the
not,
music?
actually.
So, Carlo, since you're first, and we have to start the piece, we're going to have you deal with, at least minimally, just how to start them. So, what do you think your options are to start them off?
I think you said like about the pickup, like when it says down
Yep.
at the Sally Garden. I think I would just go like, and then they can go and start like that.
Okay, try it.
Okay. You guys ready?
Down by the Sally
And stop.
Garden.
Was that what you wanted?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Do it again.
That was exactly what I wanted.
Okay.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet.
Good. Stop. Choir, is that what you wanted?
Not really.
Well, certainly what he did was great. The choir came in, they responded, and they came in great. Do you guys need 3 beats? Do you need 1, 2? What would you rather just have? Breath.
Just a breath? All right.
So what do I need to do with that breath? Uh-oh. What beat am I going to do?
Like 1, and then that, like that?
You can do 3.
3.
Down. Down. Or you can do whatever, just lift. Down. And make sure you're doing it in tempo. Whenever you breathe, make sure that it's in tempo with the group. Because if I go down, freaks everybody out. They're not, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So if I just breathe, I go down. So try that. Just breathing, and make sure you breathe with them. Because if you're like, that's going to cause them all sorts of tension. So breathe with them. Try it.
Okay.
Oh, just 1 beat.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Very good. Very good. I got through that. Nice. What? No, no, no. You're not going anywhere yet. Finger, wrist, elbow, arm. Which ictus was he using? Wrist, elbows, fingers? What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think I was using my wrist more.
Wrist more. Try it again. Face them.
Yeah, sure. Kind of like that, yeah. And are they singing this again?
Yep.
Okay.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet.
And stop. Wrist or elbows? Kind of, from where I'm standing, a lot of elbows. Just try joining your wrist. Take your hand, just relax it. Just do that. Just totally relaxed. And just put a little, so it's point to it. See what I'm doing? I'm not just like that. I'm doing a little bit of a point, and just loosely. Try not to have your wrist mount too much. Just enough to give it a little point.
Wait a minute, are you moving your arm too?
Well, my arm's not gonna, my arm's gonna move. I can't just do that. But I'm not doing, So, my elbow, that's just, it's gonna happen. But just try having the focal point be your wrist. And as loose as possible. Try it just one-handed. Try conducting them.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I
Keep going.
did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
And good. Put your hand back up the way you were conducting. Conduct a little bit for me. Just, air conduct. Now now watch your hand as you do it. Do a couple patterns. Because you're fixing it when you're looking at it. Don't look at your hand, and you tell me where the focal point is.
I tell them?
No, choir.
Oh, sorry.
Where's the point of the sound? Is it facing at you, up, down? Down. So when you're working with the choir, if your hand's down, you're kind of giving contradiction of where you want your focal point to be. Your fingertips should really be the extension of your elbow. You're going like this. It's does that it's not making you relaxed, right?
Yeah.
So try, because when I told you to look at your hand, you fixed it because I think you saw that your fingers were going down like that. Just try to be relaxed. And my fingertips are right, and man, try that with me. That's much nicer, right? How's that feel?
Feels good.
Good. Now conduct like that. So just one hand.
Mm-hmm.
Try it, but keep that. No, you're And a lot of when you have conducting lessons and they would give you certain things to work on, best thing to do is I don't know how many hours I spent in front of the bathroom mirror, constantly analyzing what did I look like, what was the group seeing what I'm seeing. So a lot of it is hearing things from the teacher, and going back and practicing, right? So try it. So one more time again. 2, 3. Just make music with it. Sing, 2, and.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy
Relax.
as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Now try it with both hands. 1, 2, go.
Down by
Relax.
the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Good. Now stop right where you are. Don't move. What do your shoulders feel like?
Shoulders, are they tensing up?
That's what I'm asking you.
They're tensing up.
What?
I think they're like.
From here, right from here up?
Yeah.
Right there? Yeah. Another thing about conducting is if they see tension in you and in you as a conductor, if you're, tense up like, they may not know it, but they're gonna get a little bit tense. So especially with a piece like this, just relax. There's no tension. I'm standing with my core centered and relaxed. Don't sing, just try that. Just relax your shoulders. And it should just be nice and light. Keep everything relaxed. Bring your hands up just a little bit. And use your fingers extension of your hands, so fingers straight out. Are you tensing up again?
No, I'm trying not to.
Good. Nice job. Good job. So I suggest if you ever get opportunity to conduct, or if you're conducting with a recording, that's a good way to practice. Although you're not getting response from what your gestures are, but just keep everything relaxed, especially in a flowy piece. Is there a time for tension in conducting? There's a lot of tension, there's a lot of tense music that's very exciting, but it's where you put the tension. I wouldn't put tension in here. I could put tension in my wrists, my hands, because it's flowing out somewhere. It's going somewhere, but tension inside doesn't create. So be aware of that.
Okay.
All right, nice job.
Thank you
Good.
very much.
Yep. Ryan Smith. Yeah. Yes, certainly.
Also, I just agree with what you were saying about tension and stuff. Like by him, continuing to conduct in that manner, I'm saying, with that build muscle, and he'll just be able to kind of it'll become like a natural form for him after a while.
The tension becoming natural?
I mean, in the position with his arms being in the position and motions that it's going into and stuff. If with repetition, with them continuing to practice and stuff, will that also take the tension out at the same time?
It could be because he's new to conducting. When you're conducting, you are using different muscles that may not be, but you shouldn't tense them up. You may get tired at first, but when you more practice, it's just like anything else. You use certain muscles repetitive, you're going to be able to have more and more endurance. But I would never recommend tension to try to get endurance out of your muscles.
I'm not saying just on the stay tense, but you know what I'm saying?
It does get easier. Yes, at first when you're conducting, your arms are going to get tired. Yes, most definitely. Ryan, how are you, my friend?
I'm great, Mr. Anzini. How are you?
Former student, now I'm a student. So you learned how to start.
Yes.
You learned how to not have tension.
Right.
Yep. You've learned that your fingers are extension. You're going to try to keep that nice and relaxed.
Keep the ictus as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like flying around the place.
All right. So let's see what you got.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I.
I gotta stop you. Quiet. Make sure you're following exactly what he's doing. Please don't go on automatic pilot. The whole purpose of you're here, and not a recording, is to follow what he's doing.
I tried to go like a little bit slower, and I didn't really feel it.
Right. That's why. So what? Okay. You're in control.
Yeah.
They're not in control. So if they're not doing what you want, it's because you're not clear.
Okay. Be more clear. Okay.
So be clear with that tempo and give them the eye. Look.
Okay.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet.
Good. And stop. Did that start the way you wanted it?
No.
No.
I'm trying to make it so it's a down by. I'm not being clear about how I want to start, and I think I need a little help.
Okay. So just take your arm out. Go and 1, down by. Just say it with me.
Okay.
Down by. And breathe with me. Down by. I prefer actually a mouth breath, so we don't make sound.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Down by.
Okay.
And it's a 1, down by.
Okay, do that again.
Down by. By is on 1.
Okay.
And make sure that your breath is the same tempo that you want.
Okay.
Down by.
Okay.
Down by the Sally Garden.
Good. Were you a little slightly confused for a split second?
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
I did.
Breathe athers, and that caused what to happen? He hesitated up top, right? There was a slight hesitation in it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
breathe with and keep the motion.
Okay. Okay.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet.
Very good. That was much better beginning.
Okay,
Good.
yeah,
How many
I felt
people
better.
took a breath at their garden? Now how are we going to deal with that?
I'm not sure.
How about we get the left hand involved? Show motion. So you're going down by the Sally Garden. Ba-da-da. Show something, some motion with that. That
Okay,
might be tough.
motion with the left,
That might be
yeah.
tough because that's doing this
Yeah.
and right, pulling that left hand out there.
It's okay.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet.
That was a wonderful crescendo on Garden. You showed that and they did the crescendo.
Yeah,
But then you pulled away
but-
for
Yeah.
at the end there. Garden, my love.
Yeah.
Keep
it kind of just fell. instead
Yeah,
of, like-
yeah. But the crescendo worked. They did the crescendo because you
Yeah,
gave him a little
yeah.
something.
Okay.
Try it again.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet.
Good. We got a little bit better result there.
Yeah.
Choir, I don't want you to breathe unless he breathes.
I don't even know when I'm breathing.
Breathe with them.
Okay.
So when
okay.
you see breath mark,
Breath mark, just breathe.
what me. You want them to breathe. You need to breathe with them. That really gives them that support.
Right.
And especially if you're breathing correctly, if you're giving a low centered breath, you're modeling what you want them to do instead of they're going to go. So think about low centered breath and breathe with them. I'm not too worried about the cutoff yet. We'll get to that if we have time. Okay, but just breathe with them. Try it again.
You know, I never realized there was like such an intimate connection in between. I've only mostly seen it just from like a choir standpoint, but like just seeing like how like even the tension in your shoulders can suggest something musically to them.
Yeah.
It's just like really, really interesting.
It's different being on this side.
yeah, very different.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about, right?
Yeah,
Yes. A lot of responsibility.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and
Did you breathe?
No.
Don't breathe. If he doesn't breathe, run out of air and just collapse.
Just pass out. It'll teach me.
It's really, really important to breathe with your ensemble. I don't care if you're in front of an orchestra that doesn't need to breathe with you. There are breaths in music. There are those moments of space that need breath and springboard through. So even when I've conducted orchestras and pit orchestras, and I will breathe with them. Well, orchestra with wind instruments, that obviously they need breath and stuff like that. But with strings too, even and obviously the choir, it's real important to have that moment of just recouping and moving the music forward.
Right. Okay.
Did you breathe at the beginning?
Yes.
Sorry, my bad.
In fact, I did it too loud, and I know you
Okay.
know what I would do.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Good. That was better, and you remembered that garden spot there. Can you show a little different gesture? I'm going to get to this with the next person with the loud forte. But choir, I want you this time to follow his beat exactly. Follow where that ictus beat is exactly.
Yeah.
Don't go to automatic pilot. Try it one more time.
I know you're saying that because I'm messing it up.
Messing it up, but I thought at one point you were catching up to them.
Okay.
I felt you speeding up your pattern because they were ahead of you.
Okay.
So make sure that you're in control.
Alrighty.
In control.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Nice job. What were your shoulders like?
They felt fine.
Yeah.
I didn't feel any tension.
No, I didn't see any tension. I didn't feel any tension. I didn't hear any tension from them. So that was really good. You're nice and loose. Again, this is just snippets into conducting. I'm going to talk about different things in the music for each piece. Again, perfecting all of this stuff could take a month, 2 months to really be able to confidently be doing all these different things. Right. So good. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Let's get Michael Rossi. Okay, so now being in attendance here and observing them, you know how to do the pickups.
Yeah.
Got that phrasing down, right? You know how to breathe with them in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And so what I want you to focus in on is your gesture being different with these little phrasings in here and a big forte. See if you can tie all of that together.
Okay.
And Carla, since you were first and you get as much of that, at the very end, I'm going to want you to tie us all up together. So you're going to be able to do all of this. Yeah. Only if you want to. Only if you want to.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed passed the Sally garden with little snow-white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Very nice, very nice. You guys completely different conducting style?
Yes.
Yes. What were some words that you would describe his conducting style, Michael's conducting style? Yes.
It was more open.
More open. Yes, you were certainly open, and that's good. You want to show openness and freedom. That's good. What else? Yep.
Bigger.
It was bigger. Yes. Bigger guy, bigger gestures, bigger. Yep. Heather?
Inviting.
Inviting, and I think part of that was that openness. Very good. What else? Yep.
I liked how he took a breath with his mouth. It helped us better, like, collectively.
Yep. So showing with that. Was the breath correct? We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
But what else? But no, I thought that was really good. You did welcome him in with a stance that was open and not low. You were a little bit up too. Good. Can you try starting them one more time? I'm going to kind of go through a little bit. Do you like that?
No.
Kind of give that little fake out there.
Yeah.
Just give one beat down and make sure you breathe. Down. It's harder than it looks, right?
Okay, all right.
If you want to do 1, 2, breathe, that's fine too.
Okay.
Down
Good.
by the...
What did he do when he took a breath with you?
Yeah.
Everything went up. What does that do here? Chops it all. You want to breathe low and centered. You can't go up because they'll do that. Did you guys get a good breath? No. Try it. Try it again. Low centered breath. Try it again.
Okay.
Down. Just this with me. Down. And say down with me. Down. Without moving your head or your shoulders. One more time with me. With me. Down. Right. And keep your heels glued.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow-white feet. She bid me take
And stop.
a-
Are you doing anything differently there?
It's just the 4, like the pickup I conduct up, right?
Right, conduct up, but that's forte there, so we're going to want to be a little bit bigger. Watch your hands are not... and that could have been part of the inviting. It was open, and it's kind of in that embrace kind of thing. You're rather than that. But I would be careful of doing too much because that's... You want to give them attention. So when you're down, 5, 3, that's better. 2, 1, 2, breathe. So try it with them. Yep. Up. Don't move anything other. This one's.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow-white feet.
Something different here.
She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Good. So you're doing some nice gestures there. Now let's talk about 2 hands versus 1 hand.
Yeah.
Choir, do you need 2 hands mirroring?
No.
No. So let's talk about what we can do with this left hand. At the very beginning, learning mirroring is good, and learning to do some things with it, because just beating and then being able to come up to do something takes some practice to just have to separate your brain to just let this go off in its own merry way. But what I want you to do is on beat 3 on meet, I want you to go 1, 1, 2. I want you to do a cutoff. Let's see how you do it. 1, 2, off. 1, 2, 1, 2, off. 1, 2, off. And cut off. And I want you to do that, because that creates tension. Cutoffs you should never show tension. If I go like this, is that a very relaxed gesture? No, it's almost violent when you're doing a big cutoff like that. Just all they need is that pop to know when to cut off. So if you're going 1, 2, off, they'll know what that is. They don't need this to do any kind of tension. So try doing that. Just one more time. Go meet. And now with the cutoff, you have to breathe. 1, 2, down.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff.
And then give it a try.
All right.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bid me
Good. I want to move on to somebody else, so make sure we get into everybody. But nice job with that. Thank you, Michael. All right. So it's a lot to think about and to coordinate, right? And were you thinking about the music at all?
Not much.
No. Right, and that's what practice takes, so you can be completely free with your body, so you can focus in on everything musical, right? But we're just talking about technique here. So let's have Jay come up.
Hey again, guys.
So you've mastered all that, so go ahead.
I get no pep talk or nothing? All right.
Go, Jay.
down by the Sally Garden.
Stop. Make sure you sing what you see. As whatever you think sound you should produce by whatever gesture he's giving.
I blame this on the no pep talk. I'm just kidding.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet.
Try to get choir, sing more of what you see. Sing more of what you see.
This is making me wonder what I'm showing. All right.
That's what I want them to tell you. They're being nice. I meant that in the most positive learning.
Noted.
Down by the Sally Garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet.
Good. I really like what you're doing with the left hand. I want to talk about because you were bringing that in and showing the dynamics. That's very, very good. I want you to think about what you're doing. You're doing a lot of subdividing. Did you see that? Yeah. Now I wanted you to kind of sing that. Down by the Sahara.
Oh, is that what you're talking?
Yeah, because you're doing a lot of it was a lot of this kind of motion. Just take your hand. Hear what I do. I'm not doing any wrist. For you right now, I just want you to think about no wrist. Think more about the fingertips. Try to keep your fingers a little closer together so you have more focal point, because if they're spread out, the focal point diminishes. Fingers more closer together brings the focal point together. 1. And relax. You're a little nervous. Just relax. Let the shoulders down.
I'm getting a little nervous. Okay.
Let your shoulders down. And just take your hand and just don't think about wrist. I'll try it again.
You guys are going to subdivide if I do that? Make sure.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet.
And stop. Better? Better. Better. You did. You're creeping into it a little bit. Just relax and just try to just let it be. Make the because some music you need to subdivide. You need to get that kind of thing going.
Mm-hmm.
This I don't really think that needs that. Just.
All right. Again, let's go.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Good. So very
I forgot
nice.
to breathe a couple of times.
It's okay. I really like your independence with the left hand already, because I feel that that's coming in and doing at will. Probably not as much as you'd want, but for first time getting up here and showing that's working really, really well. But if you want to work on conducting, really make sure that the gestures you're giving make the most sense musically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you ever get a chance to conduct something, or if you want to practice on your own, listen to the music and watch your hand to see if that's doing what you're hearing the music doing, or what the style of the music is. There can be pieces where you need to do something like that. It's underlying chugging rhythm, and you got to keep everything together, kind of thing. But this, just think about relaxation. I'm getting a little tension in this area up here, too. Okay. Did you feel that at all?
I think there's always tension there, so I didn't notice it.
Okay. Yeah, especially you want to keep this free, and you want it tense, because is this a good jet? Do you like that? If I put tension in my hand. Oh, down by. Yeah. No, I don't want to do that. This is, you want to keep this nice and free.
This is Halloween.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I only have 10 more minutes, so I got to get through everybody. Thanks, Jay. Yep. And Josh. Josh, what I want you to focus in on, we're going to have you do all these things, but if we get to the end there, we have a little retard. So in your beats, I want you to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just slow the beat down and control them to the very end. Okay. To slowing down, okay? However you see fit, because you're in charge.
Hold on, sorry. All right.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet.
And stop. Look at yourself. Just wait. Just don't move any. Oh, put it back. Are you showing a posture that's saying, "I'm in charge"?
No.
It's important because you're in front of a group of people. They're relying on you to give them all the information they need in a performance. And if you're up there and you're not showing that you're confident and positive and that you mean business and you're in control, that's not going to make them feel comfortable and be able to perform musically the best. So you have to show that command and hand in the pocket and the core. What?
Oh, it's like. Sorry.
Conduct both hands then.
Okay.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree.
And stop. Again, sing exactly what he's doing. You did get louder and you did show something different on that middle section there, but sing exactly what you think sound should come out, what he's doing. Okay? Try it one more time.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with them would not agree.
Right, and part of that why you slowed down, but they didn't follow you as much. Put your hand back up. How you were conducting. Start again. Stop. Yeah. So we want to make sure, like some other people, that you have a focal point. You have a line. No tension. You don't have to put your hands together because they don't naturally go together. I mean, you got to put tension to make the fingers go together, right? So keep them as and think about one line, one focal point.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy.
I know.
I was trying to follow you and then leave.
Yeah, I was just trying to demonstrate where that focal point should be. And also for you too, very animated conductor with the knees. Again, try to keep.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, you kind of.
Dancing.
You know, a little bit dancing there. So for you would be make sure that the focal point, what you're presenting to the choir, and try not to dance as much. And you know, we all have our moments when you know, I do weird things every once in a while too because I feel the need to do it. But just watch that kind of thing. I have to get through one more person, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep. Josh and Tyler. Last but not least, Tyler's going to conduct this perfectly for everybody. To get a fresh C.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet.
And stop. Are you lefty?
Yeah.
You are. Okay. So lefties, you can conduct lefty.
But it's not going to do well.
No, people are used to righties. I'm not going to tell you what you need to learn to conduct righty or lefty or whatever. But for now, do whatever comes natural. Know that he's beating here and expressive arm is over here. Watch the marching.
Oh.
You're kind of doing a little marching there. Remember, you want to keep your core centered.
Yep.
Okay. Beat the pattern with me. 1, 2, 3. Is it that the gesture you want? Is that the sound? Down by. Try to keep it even. 2, 1, 2, 3. That's better. You're not dancing there either. Try on. 2, go.
Down by the Sally garden, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally garden with little snow white feet. She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. And I, being
Do the retard at the end. Yes, and doing a retard, anybody, should we get bigger or smaller? Smaller. Because smaller focuses in your attention. Okay, even if you're doing a crescendo with a retard, I would probably even get smaller, just showing strength, but so you can make sure that we're all together. This kind of piece, I don't think we need to subdivide it to. You can just go, did not agree. Just keeping the timing of your beats even.
Yeah.
Can you guys take it from She Bid Me? She bid.
She bid me take love easy as the leaves grow upon the tree. But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Just do that last phrase, her would not agree, but get smaller with your gesture and keep the focus in a smaller spot, because then they'll all be together. They're not guessing where that's going to be.
Wait, where were we? With her would not agree?
Do it from, but I, being young and foolish.
All right.
To...
But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Now do the retard.
Oh.
But I, being young and foolish, with her would not agree.
Very good. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So for these two classes, the intent was to give you kind of an insight of the conductor, what the roles of the conductor are, some very basic techniques, and I know you may not be able to take these and apply these right now, but I wanted you to see what really is involved in being a conductor, and there's so much involved physically and mentally, and how you present yourself, the dynamic you have with your own personality, with the choir's personality. There's so much that goes on into a conductor, and if anybody wants to go into conducting, know that it's its whole own art. It's like learning another instrument, but your instrument is your ensemble, and all your gestures and techniques, all the techniques you would have to be playing whatever instrument. It is that involved and that intricate. Yes.
Matt, I think we'd all just like to acknowledge your fine group for.
Oh yes, the magical. Yes. Thank you. They are a special group, and they're a wonderful group of kids, and they've just been standing up here the whole time. They're not complaining. They're being very professional. I love them all to death, and I do appreciate them. So thank you for acknowledging that.
You know what, Matt? It's kudos to you, because they are so well focused and so disciplined that it only applauds who and what a fabulous conductor you are. It's the truth. I mean, they're so well disciplined.
It's a scene in rehearsal. But I need to get them back, and the bus needs to be back before we're at the end of our school day. So hopefully I will get to present something more for you in the future. I do have a few minutes. If somebody has couple questions, you can come on up. But thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you.